So is Blizzard planning a soft reset in 9.0? And what's up with this confirmed level squish? Hi everybody, I'm Tsar here, and of course, there's a lot of buzz going around right now, as you may or may not have heard. It Blizzard has sent out a survey to people talking about a level squish, and you can take this survey. I believe you can still take it. I don't know if the questions are the same. I'm gonna leave two links in the description below. Uh, we'll talk about that, but I'll get to what the level squish is about. So they talked to people about the possibility of a level squish. A lot of people have been talking about this, and a lot of people, including myself, were thinking, yes, a level squish is coming. We kind of need it. So I would assume that you can expect it in the next expansion, but let's talk a little bit about what this is, because there's a lot of naysayers and people saying it's confirmed, and it's really weird that Blizzard would tell people that, hey, this is happening, how do you feel about it? And maybe they're trying to gauge the community ahead of time before they decide to go ahead and do it. It's possible, but I'll this is what the actual survey question was, and again, the links are down in the description below to the screenshots of these people. Are you aware that the maximum level of 120 will be reduced in the future, i.e., level squish? Yes or no? Now, this doesn't mean the next expansion, of course. I would assume we can probably expect it soon. And then somebody followed up with a ticket to a Blizzard employee. One moment. Two, yes, that's us. Three, it should be about WoW, World of Warcraft. You can judge from these what you will, if you think they're fake or not. I'm not here to say that. What I'm here to do is speculate, because it's what I do best, let's be honest. This has an interesting path before it. Now, the reason I talk about this is because it can be a little bit lighter than the soft reset, but it kind of coincides with the soft reset. Now, I'm okay with this, absolutely, if it's done correctly. There are a few ways that they can do it, and they can do it wrong, of course, but we will have to wait and see. Now, they'll probably end up doing it so you can level wherever you want, whenever you want. I don't really like the world scaling. I believe that it's actually counterintuitive. But perhaps in the new expansions they'll do things different. I'll talk about that in another video. But I would assume, let's say if they brought it down to 60, or even if they brought it down to just 70. If they brought it down to 70 and they released an expansion every 2 years, that's 10 years until we're back up to the point where we are now. I would assume World of Warcraft will not be around that long. So even going down to 70 is not bad. And this way it would just chunk in all of the... In this way, it'll chunk in all of the raids of being Classic, BC, Wrath, Kata, Mop. They'll all be at this level that you can do. So that way there's not a 60 raid, 70 raid. It'll be all at level 30 or perhaps just at 60, but you're still going to be able to steamroll it like you did before. It's an interesting concept. I kind of hope they pull it off if they decide to do it, and if the speculations are true, we'll probably find out more about that in this November. And that is the second part of this video. Simply, is Blizzard planning a soft reset for 9.0? With a level squish, if it becomes true, there's also a lot of things that are happening in-game right now that make it feel like a story's coming to an end. Now, honestly, they could almost end World of Warcraft after this expansion, and if the ending is done right, it would feel like an ending. What we have in BFA are a bunch of stories that are being hinted at, while also closing off the biggest stories that we've had. So even in Legion, for example, was a complete closure on the Draenei and Legion story for now. They always had to leave it open, but that was it. That's the end of the Burning Legion as far as we know. We also have characters whose stories have come to an end. For example, Illidan. Prince Anduin Wryn's story came to an end. He is now a king. You also have Tyrande Whisperwind. Her story didn't come to an end, but a new chapter began. Ajara's coming to an end, possibly N'Zoth if they end it right. Let's say if Saurfang dies, he gets his honorable death, his story will come to an end, and Thrall may come back as War Chief, beginning a new chapter in his life, or Bane will become War Chief, and that'll start a new chapter in his life. So it's all about chapters and how the story seems like it's coming to an end. It seems like Azerite is going to change the future of World of Warcraft. This soft reset, and I don't mean a reboot, I just mean a reset, in as if everything will kind of change and shift into this new direction. There is an item that you can loot called an elemental core, which you take it to the Hydraxian dude in Ajara. I apologize, I forgot his name. I think I have it written down. Anyway, he tells you that the elemental princes are attempting to overthrow their fathers, or the actual elemental lords. They're saying that the Azerite is a new age for the elements. You talk about Jordan the Bloodwake, Rathion's hinting at the Dragon Isles. You have all of these new stories, and you also have the Lich King who could be making new plays. And all of these stories will open up new chapters. It'll impact the world in different ways. So I feel like a soft reset would be extremely good for the game. And it's also no wonder why we're getting 4, 8, maybe 10 allied races in this expansion. It feels like it's a whole new beginning of a whole different type of game, a whole new era, if you will. And I believe that this is something that World of Warcraft has been wanting for a long time. And we can also expect that if the level squish goes through, that we may see another revamped world, but from post-Cata. I don't know if they'll ever let you go back and experience the Cataclysm zones, but it's possible. But it also just could be that we'll go back down to 60, and then we'll be able to go to 80 in the next expansion. Maybe they'll have a 20 level zones and a lot more zones, and maybe they'll do something like that, because it seems, like I said, this is all pure speculation, by the way, but judging on stories, it just seems like everything is coming to that kind of either a logical end or a type of rebirth. Even Mechatork he's injured right now, and he has a mechanical device keeping him alive, and they say that Jaina says she's never seen anything like it. Well, I mean, we're going to Mechagon, and I'm assuming that the Mecha Gnomes will be making an appearance and will be integrated into the Alliance eventually. You see, Sylvanas cannot resurrect the Worgen as they are now. They have to be in a feral state in order for them to be submitted to an undead presence. That's why Worgen Death Knights exist. So it's also possible that we won't see a Worgen allied race for Alliance, but we will see one for the Horde, which would be pretty cool. So like undead Worgen. I guess we have Death Knights though, so it's there's a lot of possibilities, right? But even the story with Gen coming to a new chapter is, if Sylvanas does fall, then they can retake Gilneas. Perhaps the Night Elves can live there. Maybe this opens up a whole new starting zone for the Worgen. All of these things would be good for the game. It's just if Blizzard decides to do it. And I want to know, this is question of the day, how would you feel about a soft reset for 9.0? Would you be excited for one? Would you be excited for the level squish? Let me know in the comments below. But before I go, I guess the cool thing to talk about is there are many stories left to tell in World of Warcraft. But all of the stories that have been told and have come to an end, at least in some form or another, have all been from the original game. There's not really much left from the original game. Ajara and N'Zoth are, but their story possibly could be coming to an end, or again a new chapter. If we push N'Zoth back into his prison, that's kind of an end point. If he breaks free, that is also a new starting point. Perhaps the Horde and the Alliance run and they just go to the other side of the planet and they end up in the Dragon Isles, and there's still a few more places left on Azeroth that we haven't gone to yet. So it'd be really cool to see what happens there. I'm excited for a level squish if it's done correctly. I'm also excited for a soft reset on the story, a new direction, a new to reinvigorate the game, to make people fall back in love with it, to bring the wonder back, the world back. But Blizzard will also have to change certain systems that exist in game in order to bring people back. A lot of companies right now are banking on nostalgia. Call of Duty's doing it. Doom did it. I talked about this before. Ghostbusters. A couple of other things did it. Some didn't work out so well. Others worked out fantastically. So we're going to have to wait and see. But I just thought it was a cool thing to bring up, and I think that's logically where they're going to take the game. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next week, and hopefully we'll get more confirmation on this level Squish. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.